First, let us look at an example of freight services. An exporter in country A and an importer in country B agree on a contract to export goods from A to B. The contract specifies that the FOB value of goods at the customs boundary of country A is $925, and the cost of transport from country A's custom boundary to country B's custom boundary is $75. In this example, we assume there are no insurance or other costs incurred to transport the goods. The transport service from country A's customs boundary to the customs boundary of country B is provided by a carrier resident of country A. The cost of transport from country A's customs boundary to country B's customs boundary, $75, is included under transport freight services. The transactions in country A's balance of payments current account will be as follows. Goods, general merchandise FOB, 925 credit, and transport freight, 75 credit. Now, let us look at an example for recording passenger services. A resident of country A travels to country B on an airline resident in country A for 100. While in country B, resident A also takes a trip to neighboring country C on an airline owned by country C for 50 and pays an extra 10 for checked bags. Resident of country A then takes another trip to neighboring country D for 30 on a train owned by a rail company in country C. The transactions in country A's balance of payments current account will be as follows. The airfare for the trip to country C, including the checked baggage fee, is included under air transport, passenger services, 60 debit. The fare paid to the rail company for the trip to country D is included under other modes of transport, passenger services, 30 debit. When resident A flew from country A to country B on an airline owned by a resident of country A, this was a resident-to-resident transaction and therefore not included in the balance of payments.